Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya, and we're going to take a look at a temple that's pretty new as far as things go. This one was built in 1629. This Wat Worachet. Now it was built by King Prasat Thong of the Ayutthaya kingdom. He built this temple here. It was kind of a resurgence to like a Khmer revival for some of them. They built it with the corn cob, chetty, or prang, and this was either built for like a millennial of like Buddhism, or it was built as a prototype for Wat Worachet that's kind of back behind us here, that was started in 1630, which is a massive, huge temple and one of the best here in Ayutthaya. But this temple here is quite cool also to see. It's a restored ruin, but it does have an active part of the temple that's back over here. It's a little bit controversial. There was some like drug rehab stuff that happened over here where they would tie people up. If they were wanting drugs, they would just tie them up and wouldn't let them free. So there was a little bit of backlash over that in the media. I think that practice has stopped, but the existing temple is back over there. I'm not sure if we'll look at it. We'll just take a look at the ruin and enjoy this a little bit. So let's see what we see. Yeah, back over that way, that is the new buildings. And I think they were started in 2009. This right here is the outer wall. You can see a termite mound up there. And a big lizard went running by. This complex here is quite large. It's not as big as the one that's built off to the east of here towards the Chao Phraya and towards the city island, but it is still pretty big. Has multiple buildings, has the huge chetty in the middle, has a bunch of like bases of chetties and bases of other buildings. You can see the wall is just down, the arch is gone, but it was quite large. So if they used this as a prototype for the other one, this was like the practice. So they would learn how to do everything here before they built the big one. And that was also built, that Wat Worachet, that was built for King Prasat Thong's mother, I believe. Now there's another temple that is on the city island that has the same name as this, but this one was much, much more important. Now right here at this temple, the Burmese sent an army over here during the White Elephant War. They sent 3,000 men and some war elephants, and they set up stockades off that way. And then the Ayutthaya army set up stockades here at this temple to fight back. There's quite a bit of history in this region. If you keep going here to the west, there's a lot of the stuff that happened here during the White Elephant War with the invasion of the Burmese. So this hall here is quite cool. It's like a square shaped. It's not as rectangular as most. It's quite an interesting shape. So they have the little sandstone Buddha images here, and then they had the columns right here that would have supported the roof. And you can see the Buddha image here. I think this is facing, it's kind of facing a little bit weird. This is facing towards the south, while that there is to the east. And you can see the chetty over there. And these doors open to the east. This is towards the east right here. Yeah, it's kind of a interesting layout here inside of it. You can see how thick the plaster is on these walls. And you got these box elder bugs. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but they're climbing all over the place here. Must be the time for them to make new box elder bugs, I guess, huh? Yeah, so these columns would have supported the roof, and then this would have went out to the west. And then we have here, there would have been some Buddha images up here. There's all just the sandstone bases. And you can see how they styled this with the layout of the bricks, and they carved them to kind of give it the rounded shape on the, like on this part right here, how it's kind of rounded off. Yeah, I like that. And then this is a small, like Sri Lankan, like a bell style. It's on a square base, has the indented corners, and it's missing all the top. So that would have went up to a spire. Would have had a certain number of rings that went up, You can see the plaster with the lotus flowers across the bottom of that. And then this is the little courtyard with the outer wall. And then monk quarters and stuff like that. This is an active temple, so there are monks that stay here all the time. And then the center prong. We'll look at it last because it's quite cool. We can go up into the relic chamber. We have some Buddha images here. Some over here. I'm not sure if this would have been like a little shrine or what this building would have been. But you can see the legs and stuff of it. The brick with the plaster over the top. Would have been a large image wherever this one was at. And then we have another chetty over there with a little bit of plaster. This building right here is probably the second best thing on the grounds. The chetty itself is the best, but this building is fantastic also. This one would have been the ordination hall. This is where all the novice monks are ordained. And the way Buddhism works is you have to have an ordained monk initiate the new monks that come in. So it's a tradition. It keeps like a continuous chain of, you know, Buddhism from the first ones that Buddha initiated until today. It's an unbroken chain. So here you can see these columns are an octagon with the brick, and you can see how they carved those bricks to make it into the octagon. And this would have supported the little porch that would have been right here, and there would have been the styling up there, and then there would have been a porch right here with like some images up here on the top, and then this would have led you inside. And this is a cavernous hall. It's really, really large. And it would have had the support columns here in the middle also. They would have been octagonal shape, and they're just down to the base. You can see how tall this would have been. That would have been just absolutely massive. I mean, that's 2.5 stories tall or so. So I don't know how tall it was whenever it was new. You can see the plaster on the bottom. They had some like a lattice pattern on it, it looks like. This is kind of a cool look. So you look right back out of the middle door here at that middle prong. And then over here is just the parts of the Buddha. This is a popular temple, not for tourists. You don't ever see tourists over here. But it's a shame because it's quite cool to see. It's as good as some of them on the main island that all the tourists pile on and are thick. But it's just out of the way. It's west of the main island. So to get over here, you'd have to take a tuk-tuk. So there would have been images all around here. This would have been kind of interesting. This would have been kind of like a prong inside of here with Buddha images on the four corners. Now the Thais come over here. Like I said, it's popular. The Thais come over here for wedding photos. I've been over here several times and there's always Thais here. Today, no, it's kind of rainy. So the ladies probably don't want to get all dolled up and get caught out here in the rain taking wedding photos. Oh, this is great. Yeah, so there would have been a seated Buddha there. That's how it would have been. It would have been a prong behind him. And then they would have had 4 Buddha images on the cardinal directions. And then that massive prong. Oh, it's fantastic. And you can see the size of the bricks. Now those bricks are the larger brick. You see the holes in it? Those are the 8-hole bricks. And they poke those holes in it. Whenever they fire it, it fires evenly. And you can see the wood beams up there that have kind of rotted off and all that plaster work. So this would have been a covered little porch right here. And then here's the ordination hall, and then this is the perimeter gate. And then this is the way you look in it. Oh, what a fantastic view. And you see those bricks there that are kind of protruding. That would have been like the anchor for the styling up over the door. And then you can see they've left the little chickens and the Fanta and everything here as the shrine stuck to gold leaf on the ordination stones. Yeah, what a great view this is. Right through that door through the ordination hall. And you can see how tall the building was. Okay, let's go over there. Let's look at the small chetty, then we'll look at the center one in the middle. This is the highway that goes straight in. If you go to the east, that will lead you right over a bridge into Ayutthaya. There's not much else out around here. There's a lot of rice paddies and some of the small little businesses and stuff alongside of the highway. So here is one of the smaller chetties. You can see the styling. It's fantastic. It has the 4 little notches up there for the Buddha images that are gone. And it has a rail. And the people would have been able to walk around those counterclockwise for one of their ceremonies. So you see the top, how it looks? That's probably what was inside of that ordination hall. It's just something similar to that. And then you can see how they did the rails and then all the plaster work, and it's kind of settling. You see how it's settled down here on this corner. So if it collapses, the fine arts department will probably come over and rebuild it. And then the center prong. And then a smaller little chetty right over here. Now they have the sign blocking the stairs, so they must not want anybody up there. That's their little prayer that they do. You can see the bricks that they would have had for the rails and everything. So the Thais will come here, leave the flowers, burn the joe sticks. You can see the rain is kind of dampened everything down. And then this is the center prong. Let's go up in there right quick. And they use some big bricks here. You can see the holes that they poked in them to whenever they fired them. And then it's pretty cool. They have all these little notches all on the little walkway, so they would have had small images in there. They could have also put in candles for some of the ceremonies. And then the stairs that goes up to that little chamber. And then you see all the styling up there, all those little pediments and stuff. Oh, it's fantastic. And then somebody has this sword. They came over here. That's a pretty common thing at some of these temples. You'll see they'll leave these little swords. So they have it now kind of blocked off. Before, you could climb right up there to that relic chamber. There's nothing in it. It's just an open hole. We used to be able to climb up those stairs. And you can see they've left the bananas and stuff like that. And then there's that first hall we went in. And you can see there's like a chetty base right there, and then the perimeter wall, and then these little rails with the styling and stuff. And one last little look here. This is that first building we looked in, and here's the center prong, and then back over there is the other little chetty, and then that ordination hall back there in the back. And you can see the rail and everything here around this. And they put the bricks down for the courtyard so you can walk around, and trees are still kind of growing up in them. And then that hall right over there. Oh yeah, this is a cool little temple. And the stairs up there. You can see the trees. That'll finish up our video over here at this temple, Wat Worachet. This is dating back to King Prasat Thong in 1629. It's a nice temple. It's just over here, you know, pretty much unknown to tourists. The Thais come over here, like I said, they'll come over here and take pictures and stuff like that. And then they'll go to the modern part of the temple to make merit and stuff like that. Anyway, it's definitely worth your time. If you have extra time, come over here and see it. It's not among like the top 6 that you do for like the package of the 6 temples, like Wat Sisampet and Wat Mahahat and Wat Worachet, all of those. Those are the better ones, but this one here is definitely worth your time if you want to see something away from the crowds and stuff like that. Anyway, if you like the video, smash the like button. If you've been here, let me know in a comment down below, or if you have any questions or have any extra information I don't know about, leave me a comment down below and tell me. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and all of that. And until next time, remember, life is a journey. Enjoy.